Hello, butterflies, and welcome to Butterfly Tea Time. I hope you have your tea and your coffee ready. Today, we're diving in with Miss Chandra, also known throughout the lupus community as Wolfy Spoons. Hello, Chandra. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. How are you today?
Hey, Chandra.
Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for having me on. I feel so special. Tea time.
You
Ooh,
are. You are.
thank
You
you.
are
Thank you.
special. And Chandra, we've seen a lot of the works that you've been doing in the last couple years in the lupus and community and throughout the state capitol and with Gamma Pi Rho. And we just really wanted to highlight all your works that you're doing.
Great. Yes, it has definitely been a full past few years. And I actually owe it all to Gamma Pyro Lupus Sorority Incorporated.
The most amazing sorority ever.
Yes.
So Chandra, a lot of people have seen all the works that you've done in the lupus community, but not everyone knows how you got diagnosed or what your actual journey with lupus looked like. You want to tell us about how you got diagnosed and what that experience was like for you?
Sure. It was terrifying. I was 17, 18 years old and just about to graduate high school and had so many hopes, plans, and dreams, and didn't know what was going on. Took me a little while to get diagnosed, but they said I had everything but lupus, which back then, 30 something years ago, it really wasn't that much information about it. So they said that I had allergic reaction to the birth control that I was on. Um, Another flare, they said that I was allergic to seafood. So I kind of went back and forth with that. And God blessed me one day that my actual physician was out of the office, and there was someone who was filling in for him, and he happened to be on the elevator when I was going up, and I was leaning against the elevator, feeling like I had been hit by a truck, face swollen and everything, and just feeling quite terrible. And he said, "Wow, you really don't look good. Are you okay?" And this was a physician, and I was like, "No, I don't feel good." And my mom was like, "Yeah, she's been feeling bad for some time now." And he asked me a couple more questions. And then, like, out of the blue, he just said, "Are you familiar with lupus?"
Wow.
And at the time, I kind of was, but I wasn't, because my cousin had just recently passed from it. But it was like a family secret. Nobody like really talked about it. So we wasn't really familiar with it. But so anyway, went up there, did all the, blood work and everything. And turns out God shows me I have lupus. Yes, I do have lupus, and I've been surviving for some time now.
How
Yes.
long did that whole entire diagnosis from start to finish take? I know the
It
average is
seems,
6 years.
it seems forever, but trying to remember back, not even a year, because those flares was like every 3 months. So it wasn't even a year that it took. And I think that if it wasn't for that particular physician being there that day, the journey would have continued, because I had been going back and forth, and they kept saying, "Oh, it's this, it's that," so it took it took a little while, but I'm grateful that it didn't take as long, because I hear a lot of horror stories where it takes a very long time to actually get diagnosed. So
Yeah, the average nowadays is about 6 years, and they normally diagnose other things first before they actually are able to streamline it and figure out that it is lupus.
yes, and it's so unfortunate. It's like you don't want to put that on anybody, but somebody who suffers from it and kind of knows, especially with the journey that they went through, and then to see somebody have to keep struggling to get a diagnosis or to be told something. Unfortunately, my daughter, at the same age, was diagnosed with the autoimmune disease. So her transition has been the same the way mine was, but still doesn't have a diagnosis for lupus. I thank God for that. But they say it's autoimmune disease. They say it's fibromyalgia. They say it's chronic exhaustion or something like that. But it's like, some days those levels are here, and it's stressful. It's stressful, but she's great. I'm great. Life is good.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, you're chosen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you can take it.
Oh yeah. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
We got this.
So
And just listening. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
But
I sip tea until.
no, but when I was listening to you about your daughter, that's always something that has concerned me with her. I have a daughter, she's 20 now, and she's starting to have some random things, and I'm looking like, God, please not my baby. But as a mom, you never want your children to experience some of the things. But I think the fact that we are aware and we went through some stuff, we know that, okay, if something happens, that mom's going to be here to support you, but we'll get through this. But I just want to thank you for just sharing that. I'm still a little emotional this morning because there was some stuff going on with my daughter the last few days, but we're going to get through it too. So thank you for sharing that. That meant a lot to me personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's frustrating, but like I say, in one breath you hope that, oh, it's not, but then it's like, but it looks like, or what is it? But she did tell me one time, and I always like, God, please don't give this to her. Actually, I don't even wish lupus on my worst enemy. So yeah, I always say, God, please don't give it to her. But she said something to me one day, and I hold on to that. She said, Mom, I know that if I do have it, I do know how to navigate it because I've seen you do it so long. So I know I can do this. So I put my cape on, and I was like, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that we can't do,
Yes.
So yeah, but I definitely don't want her to have it. But they say it can run in the family, it doesn't. But I actually want to do a conversation on that with people who have lupus and their family members who have autoimmune diseases but not quite diagnosed with lupus. So, but that's a whole nother show.
I think you should definitely do that show. And if you do show with the family members, I would definitely be interested in that because my daughter's father, his grandmother passed from Crohn's. And in my immediate family, I have several people diagnosed with lupus. I had a cousin diagnosed in the last 3 years, and she felt comfortable. I think she's 25 now.
Okay.
Because I talk about it so much, and she was able to ask me some questions, and I was like, you need to see a rheumatologist. And we kept talking. She's in Houston, and we kept talking about it. So she was actually finally tested, and she found out that she does have lupus. She has SLE and discoid lupus. So that conversation, and it does sometimes run in the family, and it's not talked about. And you talked about that earlier a few minutes ago. I didn't know that lupus existed in my family either until I was diagnosed. And it was like, well, it's been so many people in the family who've had lupus. And I was like, well, why didn't nobody tell me this? Well, I was the guinea pig going back and forth to the doctors. And the doctors were like, we think you have carpal tunnel syndrome. Well, you have a sinus infection. And it was, the hospital that actually, a random doctor, internal medicine doctor, was the one who looked at me and said, I think you have lupus. And I have been going to doctors in and out, doctor's office, and I was just like, well, what is that? He was like, you're in a lot of pain. Look at your joints, they're swollen. So I think that we do need to have the conversations like we're having now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love to do that. We can do that on our platform. Definitely.
Absolutely. I'll try to get my cousin to come too.
Okay, sounds good.
Well,
okay.
It's crucial that we pass the torch. I mean, if we can pass the healing, then we all can survive it. Not just in our families, but as a community.
Absolutely. Because our kids, they need this. Our children need this information because, like Chandra said, my daughter's like, okay, Mom, I see you go through a lot, and I've seen you, despite everything, still accomplish great things. So, I mean, I'll be okay if I do, but I don't really want it either. But I'll be okay. You've been okay. You've survived. And I think, but I didn't have a frame of reference, and like you didn't have a frame of reference. Like you didn't really know anyone who talked about it. So it's like it's new. It's like, what is this?
I was embarrassed and I didn't want to talk about it. And I honestly, I didn't talk about it back then. I didn't talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think about it, especially if I was feeling good. I used to be with people who had lupus and they would always be talking about it. And I'd be like, girl, please, don't nobody want to hear that. You know, that was my thought. And I was like, I felt like she was always like, that's what she wanted people to see. And I'm like, no, I want them to see Chandra first. I want them to see that, you know, I'm a mother, you know, I'm a daughter, you know, I'm a great person, you know what I'm saying? I'm a nurse. You know, I go, you know, I do things. I am someone outside of lupus, but now being in the sorority, I get it because we have to be vocal because it has to get out there so people can actually know more about it. And, you know, we got to get a cure for this disease. We have to, and we have to get people to know more about it. That's the only way we're going to make it.
I love that. I love to share that because, to be honest with you, my first year or so, I was actually in denial. I was like, I don't have no lupus. I'm not taking this stuff. And, you know, it was hard for me to even come to the real reality that I really actually had lupus. I'm like, okay, I was like, one day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go back to work and I'm, you know, it's going to be cool because it was like, you know, you go from not being hospitalized or anything, and then you're living in and out of hospital and out of medicine. So I wasn't even really telling nobody except for my family who was aware. And I was like, I don't have this. They're wrong. They're gonna, you know, any minute, any day, you know.
Right.
Denial.
Yeah. I didn't really start accepting it until it really started changing my life. I saw that I really wasn't able to do the normal things that I was able to do. And I had a lot of joint pain and I felt tired and stuff, but it still wasn't like, oh, this disease ain't nothing, you know, I can handle this. But honey, when them lesions and stuff start popping all up on your body and, you know, and you start hurting so bad and, you know, the hair start falling out and, you know, just this, and it's like, oh, I'm sick. I'm sick. Let's get out of that. I went through depression. You know, I won't sit here. You know, you see me now, and I'm like, oh yeah, lupus, and I got this. It has been a very, very, very long journey, and if I could be honest, it still is a journey. I'll still wake up some days, like now, believe it or not, I'm not feeling my best, but I knew I had to do this and persevere. I'm having even more problems with my kidneys. And that's like, to me, is terrifying, but thankful that I see so many warriors who deal with dialysis and transplants. And I know that they're, you know, we are unstoppable. So I see a great plethora of people who are doing amazing. And it's like, okay, it's not so scary. I can do that, but I want to, but I can't.
Exactly.
And I think you're only, because when something like your kidneys are involved, it's a natural reaction to feel scared, to feel something, a new territory. I mean, when I was like, I think that was one of the things that really hit the reality, made me really think, okay, you really better take this seriously. Lupus was aggressive against my kidneys, and I was like, okay, this is not just, you know, this is not going to just go away. So you really got to do something for real. But we persevere. We're strong. We'll get through it. You can be okay.
And even that depression is beatable. Everybody know that.
Yes, one day at a time, and your journey is not someone else's journey, and someone else's journey is not yours. So, you know, one day at a time. And some days is 1 minute at a time, you know, but always try and know that you can get through it. You know, it may not be the way you want it to go through, but you definitely can get through it and see that.
And one of our dear friends in the community, many of you have seen him, Emmett Henderson, needs a kidney transplant right now. So if anyone that's watching this, if you know anyone that has either blood type O positive or negative or B positive or negative, they could actually save Emmett's life through kidney transplant. So
yes.
Right now, so we definitely want to take a moment to speak about that while we are talking about kidney transplant.
Of course.
Emmett is a dear friend. He is actually our
Big
vice
boy.
president board of directors of our sorority. So I've gotten to know Emmett quite well, and he is an amazing person. Even to see him persevere now. So yes, kidney disease is horrible. But when you see him, you think it's not so bad, even though it's horrible. You see him in the way he, goes through life, because this is his second time going through it. So, but it can be done. There's also Shakira Johnson. She's one of our sorors, and she's in need of a kidney as well. I'm sorry, I don't know her blood type and everything offhand, but she can be found on social media. And also one of my dear friends from Chicago, Kenyatta Howard. She is in need of a kidney as well. So there's many people in the lupus community who has, their journey has become even more than lupus. And that's the thing with lupus. People think that, I think that's why it's so hard to get disability, because they're like, oh, well, their skin just messes up, or their joints and stuff may hurt sometime. But lupus attacks every part of your body, literally from your head to toe, your eyes, your and it's an umbrella of other diseases that come along with that. I know earlier we spoke. I have lupus. I started off with discoid lupus, and then it turned to SLE, which hence the third stage renal failure. Fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, we can go on, Sjogren's, we can go on and on, but I don't highlight those. My main focus is lupus, but being out here in the community, it's like everybody's going through it, everybody's going through it. So it's not just the lupus, it's the medication,
side effects.
The steroids and stuff, but I must admit I have not tried any of the new medications. I'm an old schooler. I still take my prednisone and plaquenil and mycophenolate, and so I'm still old school. I haven't ventured out and tried the Benlystas and everything, but I do think that I am going to look into Arenia. And they have a medication now for people with kidney disease. So,
yeah.
Okay.
I think you should definitely think about Benlysta. It was actually recommended to me by my rheumatologist because I do have kidney involvement. And because of that, I was able to not have to have dialysis or to actually experience all of that. And I was diagnosed with nephritis stage 4.
Okay.
And so it was very, very aggressive. And my kidney function is normal. I know that, and one of the things that he did tell me at the time, because I've been on Benlysta for many years now, it was actually created in 2011, I think, and I think I started like 2012.
Oh, okay.
And so it's been a minute. My kidney function is normal. The lupus aspect is for the most part controlled most of the time, unless I go outside in the sun, which I'm paying for today. But it has been really a game changer for me. It's really expensive, but there are programs that you can still get it even if your insurance doesn't cover it. The doctors in the office can get people sign them up for programs where they can get it for free.
Okay.
So if people are not thinking that they can't afford it because it is extremely expensive, there are still options. There are grants for this type of medicine and some of the other ones as well. So don't rule it out. I also take mycophenolate, but a very low dosage. And so there are some other options, and they could be very helpful. So don't just rule them out.
Yeah, it seems like you've had some really good results with Benlysta. It seems like.
Yeah.
When they first came out, I was like, oh my God, they got a medication for lupus. We've been waiting forever for that. And my doctor was like, oh, well, no, they got that, but it's not for people with kidney disease. So don't worry about that. But then everything changed, and then it was for it. And then it's like, oh, I can get on it now. So it's like, the way I used to try and, I'm like, I want to try him. I want to try him. And he's like, no, you don't want to rock the boat. Everything's fine. Everything's stable. You don't want to rock the boat. And I let him be the advocate for my disease. But like I said, now speaking to more, people and, understanding that, no, I have to be the voice for my disease.
There you go.
My disease. I don't want to have to worry about getting on dialysis and what I'm going to do then. I want to do this now so that I don't have to do it. So I'm moving forward with my disease.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the factors that, because we are scared and sometimes it's unknown. And one of the things that my doctor was very honest, because I've known him for many years now. He was like, well, there are not a lot of Black people. He was very honest, and he was like, I don't know about the success for Black people because, a lot of Black people haven't used it. I was like, is it because it's expensive? We're having real conversation, and he's really honest. And he said that could be a factor. He said, but there are programs where they can get it for free if they don't even have the insurance or whatever. And I was like, okay, so my kidneys are doing what? So I was like, okay, well, this is an option. So let's try this option and see, because it was going to be that option or it was going to be something more drastic. So I was like, well, what do I really have to lose if it's a possibility that I may have to go on dialysis and do all this other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's an individual decision that you have to think about for yourself. If it's going to be like, okay, well, you're going to have to do something. You can't just if your kidney function is failing, you can't just not do anything. So it's going to be something that you're going to have to try. I mean, and me and mycophenolate, the higher the dosage was, it made me sick. I couldn't take it. I was throwing up.
So, immune suppressant. Yep. I used to take
we were like 3,000 milligrams, and I was looking at him like, listen, sir.
Oh, you was high dose. Yeah, you was high dose.
Yeah. I mean, I had no ankle. I just being honest, I had no ankles, if you know what I mean. Like my thighs, my stomach, I was fluid. Like my body was fluid. Like on my boobs, my whole body felt like
I was. So much of the medication is trial and error.
Yeah, that's why it's so good for African Americans to do those clinical trials as well, so they can have more research on the way different drugs affect us.
Yeah. That's so true.
So Chandra, a lot of the work that we see you doing is within the sorority.
Yes.
So how did you find the sorority with the president, Autumn Austin? I do a lot of things with her. Mad respect for that woman and everything that she does in the lupus community to spread awareness, do book scholarships, and help so many here in Las Vegas and throughout the globe on social media. How did you originally find Gamma Pi Rho?
Yes, she is a powerhouse. I heard about the sorority through a good friend of mine, and it was around the time with COVID, and we was just, like everybody else, like in the house. I'm like, I feel like I need a purpose. I feel like I'm not doing anything. I feel like I'm just wasting away. Like I need to feel, like I'm doing something and making a difference. And she, messaged me and it's like, hey, I see this thing about a sorority. And I'm like, oh yes, I don't want to, get involved in the organization thing. I can do all of that on my own. And then she messaged me back and she was like, no, seriously, it's like a lupus sorority, let's, check it out. So end up checking it out. 3 days later, we signed the application and everything, and we were well on our way. And here we are. That's how I found out about Gamma Pi Rho. And I have been head first in the sorority since day one. I made it a priority. And I made it one of the things that I committed myself to, because I was just so proud about, I have this community of ladies who actually are going through what I'm going through.
Yes.
You can have your family all day long. I have the best family in the world. I have never went a day without support. I mean, from the most minute things. So I have the support, but to have a community of women and men who know exactly what you mean when you say you don't feel good or you're tired or you're hurting or, you know, this brain fog or, you know, and it's not like, oh, girl, you 50 now, you know, that's no, it's much more than that. So, you know, I'm so grateful for the sorority and every single lady that is involved in it. It is such a wonderful organization. I love me some Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated. They do so many great things in the community. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I see you doing this. I see you doing that." Well, when you see one, you see us all. We are all over. We have people in Las Vegas where we were founded, and in Chicago, Atlanta, New York. I mean, we're all over. So you see one, you see us all, and you know, we just want to ensure that the world, you know, gets to know about lupus and how, you know, horrible it is, and that you know, we're here to help, you know, and it's not just about oh, well, come on and join our organization, or, you know, come on and be a part of the sorority. It's not just that. It's come on and, you know, let's join the sisterhood. And, you know, you can have somebody be a mentor, or just somebody to communicate with, because life is hard. Life is hard by itself, you know. Life is hard by itself, and just to have someone, you know, there's what, 50 something of us, you know, and just to have one of those people, you know, by your side is such a true blessing. I'm so grateful for them, and they brought me out of my shell. So
yeah. So what kind of things do you guys do with Gamma Pi Rho?
What don't we do? Okay, so
there she is.
we are in the community advocating. We're online advocating. We give back to the community. We have different platforms that you can get involved in. So say we have our Founders Day weekend. That's where we all come together and we'll do a walk-in, or we will collaborate with another organization just to get the awareness out. But we help one another. There is a sisterhood. You know, it's the more we get together and the more we uplift one another, the greater we will be. We have women. I'll use the ones in Las Vegas, and they do other organizations. You know, so we join together with them. And then we have the women in Chicago. They do other organizations, you know, like we all support Lupus Foundation of America, no matter what state you're in, you know, like we will go, like I went to the state capitol here in Georgia.
Yes, I saw that. That's so amazing. Tell us about that.
But you also have women in Chicago who will do things with Lupus Foundation of America as well. That's why I say when you see one, you see us all, you know, and we'll join them at the state capitol, you know, we'll help support, you know, them then. We even work with LRA. So we're out there. We're out there being seen, helping, getting funding, which we desperately need. Yeah, we're just trying. We got a proclamation for to make it a National Lupus Awareness Day. So we're out there, and we're just trying to build a greater good for the entire world, not just for people with lupus, but you know, for everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we also have, I was speaking of the mentorship. To be a glamorous gamma, you have to be over the age of 18. But we also have the Dimes and Seals Auxiliary, and that's for the Seals is for. So say you lost someone to lupus, they need a support group. You know, they're trying to figure their life out without you, or just someone who has lupus. So we have the Seals Auxiliary for that. And then we have the Dimes for the younger ladies who are younger and not of age. And our swords can be the mentors to them to help them navigate, because lupus is horrible at no matter what age. You know, thinking about finding out about it when you're 17. Lord forbid, there's a sister who was like 6, I think, when she found out. So, you know, it's a struggle. So we just want to be able to, you know, be able and be there every step of the way for whoever needs us in whatever capacity.
That's beautiful.
Just to meet everybody where they're at, and it is such a fingerprint condition, and people struggle in different capacities with different internal organs, different side effects, and different states that they're living in as far as resources. So I love that Autumn was able to make this go worldwide, to bring
Yes.
together for this cause. So tell us about that day at the state capitol. What was that experience like?
Oh wow, it was so exciting.
Oh, you must have been nervous for that day.
It was so exciting. I actually had been before. So, but the first time it was kind of like, I was just, watching how people move and just, okay, well, we need you to go do this. And I'm like, oh, hi, and go do that. But I was just kind of laid back, just watching and see how it goes. But this time I was front and center. I was talking to the representatives. I was trying to get down on the Capitol floor. I made my presence known, and I'm grateful for, the Lupus Foundation of Georgia chapter, for Terry and Chris and Alita, because they helped me, navigate my way, and they're, a huge support with navigating all of that. And Kim Schofield, oh my God, she had everybody with purple capes on, all on the floor and everything. And we were really getting our point across. And, we're fighting to get those, the funding and the laws passed, and to just be a part of that is such an awesome feeling, because you're doing it for lupus. You're doing it for yourself and others, to be able to look back and say, wow, we did that. We're doing that. That's huge. That's huge.
That is huge.
That's huge. And you're making a difference. You're not just, oh, I have lupus. It's like, oh, I have lupus, and so it was a great feeling. I'm looking forward to doing it again next year. They put this together every year's Advocacy Day at the Capitol.
I think that Miss Shantae should join you at the state capitol. She's got quite a voice over here.
Awesome. Yeah, we would love that. We would love that. Some of us are some of us are going to be in Washington next week for the Lupus Summit. They have that every year, and people go down there, and they're doing it on online as well, virtually. But you go down there and you go through the halls and you speak to the representatives, the Senate, the Congress, you really navigate your way through, and they listen. I mean, they may only give you 1 minute, but they listen, and it gives you a chance, and you can still. And that's one thing that I learned, that, so say you missed out on that one day. No, you can still write your state representative, write the Congress, and let them know, hey, we need this funding, or we're looking to do this. And, just to let them know we're not giving up on this fight. We're going to continue to, let you know how serious this disease is, because everybody knows about cancer. So. Everyone should know.
They're not investing the research that they need to be investing in this right now.
Absolutely.
All right, girls. So when you signing up for Gamma Pi Rho, then?
Check us out. And it's so many of us. It's so many wonderful ladies who do so many different things. And we're in each of these different cities, and everybody has given so much of themselves. We feed the homeless. There's a young lady in Vegas, and she does this, like several times a month. So it's like we're really out here doing things to make a huge difference.
Are you talking about Jade?
Jade and Tamika Marshall. Yeah.
She works
with another foundation. She works with Jet Foundation. That's what I'm saying. It's like one single SOAR works with a different foundation. You're bringing all of us, and we're being seen everywhere. We do so much. It's not just about Gamma and we have this meeting, or we have a guest speaker coming up next month, or come on, we're going to play a game, or something like that. Let's get to know everybody. We're in these streets in a wonderful way, and we're really trying to make a difference. And we got great mentors that's helping us along the way. Our founders, we couldn't have done any of this without Autumn and our founders. So kudos to all of them, everybody, actually. I would not be sitting here today talking about Gamma without the support of each and every sister that I have. So
Tea time
Gamma
cheers.
Pyro, baby, all day.
I love that. It looks like someone had a question. They wanted to know what are the prerequisites for the sorority? What are the requirements?
18 and over, and you have to have a lupus diagnosis. That's it.
Autumn is going to be offering a program for those of us that don't have lupus. As a lot of you guys know, I don't have lupus. My stepmom passed from it, and a dear friend of mine, as a client, I created the skincare for her, and this has just become my life mission. So she's actually going to be creating a place for those of us that actually don't have lupus to get involved with Gamma Pyro. And
that's where the dimes and seals come in, the dimes auxiliary and the seals auxiliary. So say, for instance, if my cousin wanted to be involved, she's like, y'all always doing something. I want to go out here and do this walk, or I want to go do this, let me go do this. Oh, you can join. You don't have to be a part of the sorority, but you can be a part of the sorority. And that's where the dimes and seals auxiliary comes in. So
I love that so much. She never leaves anyone out in this amazing mission. So you got another question. What are the qualifications for joining, and are you in Missouri?
The qualifications are, as far as joining the sorority, is being 18 and over and having a lupus diagnosis. It doesn't have to be discoid or just SLE. It could be any lupus diagnosis. And I don't know if that's Mississippi.
I think that's Mississippi.
But we have people in Missouri, and we actually have somebody in Mississippi, I believe. We baby, when I tell you, Gamma Pyro is world. Yes, Mississippi. Gamma Pyro is worldwide. We have people everywhere. We have amazing sorors who have dedicated their life to this disease and this organization. So you can reach out, and I can get that information to you for sure. Yeah, for sure. We'd love for you to have somebody to communicate with, and like I say, not just for to join the sorority, but just to navigate through life. Navigate through life, because we're all going through something. So it'll
absolutely.
We're here. We're here.
I love that it's global. I love that people from all over can connect, because that's major. So we're really spreading awareness by being connected like that.
And that's why we also love the fact that we have Delibra from Louisiana. I'm here in Las Vegas, and then we have Shantae in Florida. So we are trying to just globally spread awareness and gather resources and help a lot of women and men that maybe don't have those resources. And some of those places, for instance, are New Zealand, Philippines, and also London, from what I'm hearing, still don't have those resources. So.
Okay. Well, we need to get in touch with them then.
There we go.
I warn them. So you guys, and Chandra is actually going to be giving away a prize to one lucky viewer. We like to give a prize away at the end of Butterfly Tea Time every single show. So the first person to comment, what did you choose, Chandra?
My sore name.
Her sore name. Breaking news. So the first person to comment this is actually going to be winning a prize from Chandra. And we'll do that in a couple of minutes. We'll give you the chance to sign on. If you aren't able to sign on, at least comment your name, because you'll just come up as Facebook user, and then you'll just be sending your address to her. Looks like you have two more comments.
Okay.
Oh, yes, please. Love Edwina. She's going to sign up with you guys.
Okay. Great.
Thank you, Wolfy Spoons.
Absolutely.
Aw, Edwina, you're so on top of our contest. I love all your You got a hey sis.
Hey everybody. I can't see your names, but whoever decided to come on, thank you so much. And when I say I am grateful for your support always, I am truly grateful, because this journey, I could not have done it without all of the support that I have from my blood relatives to just friends I've met along the way. So I am most grateful.
Yeah, you have a lot of fans that are really, really rooting for you and all the things that you're doing to spread lupus awareness.
Yes, yes. And so many people have it now. I'm like, wow, every time you turn around, somebody's saying something about lupus. I'm like, yes, yes. Not that they have it, but it's coming to be more known because, you know, 30 some years ago, you felt so alone. Like, is anybody,
right?
So
every voice counts. Every voice can create a change and make a difference.
It does. Thank you guys so much. And that was Edwina who won the contest. Was it Edwina?
We're still waiting for comments. We're gonna
I want to show
looks like Nicole Hester won.
Really?
Oh, okay.
That's the first person that I see on my end.
That commented breaking news.
What's the name, Libra?
Nicole Hester.
Oh, congratulations, Nicole.
That name sounds real familiar. I know why she got that right.
Somebody cheating. Somebody cheating.
So much.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us today, Chandra. And if you guys want to get behind her missions, follow, support all the movement that she's making in the lupus community, here are her plugs. You can find her at Wolfy Spoons at Facebook, Wolfy Spoons 90 on Instagram, and also GPR sorority.inc.org. Did I say that correctly?
GPR sorority.inc.org. And that's just for more information about the sorority. Yes, absolutely. Take a look at our webpage and see, some of the information or questions that I wasn't able to answer today, or just reach out to one of us.
Get connected. You're not alone. You have 4 girlfriends sitting in front of you and all the tea that a girl could ask for.
Absolutely. It's such a pleasure to connect with all of you. We're bonded now. So,
There you go, forever.
Goofy Chandra here I am. I'm not going anywhere. So.
You guys, thank you so much for your time today, Chandra, and everything that you're doing in the lupus community to create a global change.
It was beautiful having you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Have an amazing Tuesday. Butterfly cheers to you. And until next time, fly free.
Cheers.
Cheers.